Hello and a warm welcome back. Today on the bench, filling all the bench, is a Vortexion WVB vintage mono reel-to-reel tape recorder. A huge beast. This is a portable one, by the way. And I used to be able to lift it quite easily. However, getting on in years, I'm struggling with the bugger. And how the chaps like used to go in the field and carry these around. I mean, the chap who recorded all the folk music prior to the folk revival in the 60s, he went around on a train with something like this, carrying the bugger, so that he could record, people singing and the old songs, like old English folk music. He must have had arms like fucking elephant size, Jesus. Anyway, let us go and have a look. There's not a lot wants doing to it. I've sold it and I've discovered some dodgy wiring because this is so old. All the original insulation on the wiring is perishing. Try and show you without knocking this off and trapping my arms. So as you can see, we've got a bit there. I mean, the wire is just basically disintegrating. All that there. This bit here. There we go, looks alright, turning to goop. So that has all got to be rewired. I can't let it go like that. I have done, and other people in the past, as you can see from the more coloured wiring, rewired a lot of it. So there's only really this bit needs doing. It looks really complicated, and is because it's got like sockets on the outside and things to plug into long gone God knows what. Let us have a look also at the actual amplifier. This is the front panel of the amp, and with all the controls. Now it's a while since I've used it, so I might be a bit foggy on some of this, so let's go over the top here. This is to select our voltage of our mains. Got it set to 245. That is basically to switch between the signal and the bias on the meter, I think. And this is to alter our bias voltage. Come over this way. Yeah, treble bass, and then we've got, let's start here. We can go between monitor and output. I don't know. Yeah, that's just a volume control. Monitor and output can volume. Playback volume. Alright, playback volume. This is record playback 1 or 2. I don't know what the 1 and 2 represents. Recording level, treble bass, and erase on and off. Pretty simple. It's valve rectified by a GZ30, Malod GZ30. I believe that's a EL84, or maybe that's the EL84 at the back there, which is doing the main sort of audio amplifier duty. I think this may be our bias valve. I'm not quite sure what it is. Let's see if I can get that out there. Right, I can take my hand off there now. I hate these frigging clips. Fucking nightmare. I would think this is a... Oh, you fuck pig. That ain't coming out there. I would think... Let's have a look at the thing. I would think that's a 6 or... Oh no, it's a 6BW. Hang on. 6BW6. Right, what's that doing then? Ah, that is, yeah, that's our bias. That's our bias oscillator, I'm pretty damn sure. And then we've got a, that looks like an ECC83 or it says 85. And then for all our input amplifier duties, we're using EF86s. Yeah, there's our AL34 there, single-ended output valve. Yeah, 3 EF86s, one for the mic, one for your sort of Main amplification for what? Fuck knows, it's a busy old thing, isn't it? So yeah, there's a EF86s there. These big things here are audio transformers, line level transformers, you know, to boost like our signal, say from a microphone or whatever. Then we've got a couple of sockets here which is for a power in and out, and then underneath I've done a lot of work already underneath here, replaced all the big electrolytics with F&T jobbies, really good quality caps, replaced all the heater wiring because that had perished, replaced this coloured wiring here going to those two sockets, replaced another capacitor over here with a Sprague, and quite a few resistors and all the rest. Interestingly, the EF86s are, what do you call it, grid biased, so they got no cathode resistor, and also they configured in triode mode, so they just basically, I don't know why they just didn't use a bloody ECC83, to be quite honest, but God knows. Yeah, so this here is our 10 meg bias resistor, so it's using the very, very slight tiny current going to our grid to give us a voltage on the grid, you know, so that it's biased correctly, which is yeah, really old school. As you can see, I've left some resistors in there, these old Aries ceramic jobbies, but I can assure you I've been through and checked every one, replaced a lot on here. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a quick look at that. There's not, as you can see, I've probably done some work in there as well. So like anything like this, it's a labour of love. I mean, it can take weeks of work to restore one of these things, and the result, to be honest, like the Quad 22, is, yeah, it's not hi-fi, but you know, still I have got a an affection for these big old devices. I mean, look at the motors. I think these are Pabst motors, possibly. Big old massive motors, massive great what do you call it, what's that called, capstan flywheel, massive ceramic wafer switches, chokes everywhere, and yeah, this is why it weighs so much, mainly because of what's in here. Yeah, huge great thing, and hopefully, like when I've done restoring this wiring, it'll be good for another 20 years. Wonder when it was built actually. Have we got a date? We've got a serial number, 24136, but there's no dates that I can see anywhere, and like I say, a lot of the capacitors that might have given us a date are well gone, but I would think we're talking 60s, probably early 60s or something like that. Anyway, a few days later, ready to test this Vortexion reel-to-reel. Come round this side here to where the power goes in. I've sorted all this out. So originally this was in here, this I think it's a Bulgin, something like that, and it had been, the cutout in this plate had been mackled, it had been hacked at a few times, so I made a bit of F4 board up, you know, just to make that look nice. It also didn't have a fuse, so I fitted a fuse holder. There's the main switch, and this is the power out. I've got HT and heater winding, but that isn't going to be used. So let's plug it in and see if it works. Well, there's no signs of life. So we've got to figure out, I'm basically measuring on this 9-pin plug here whether there is 240 volts AC. There wasn't, although it briefly came on. I had to resolder these wires because, as you saw, they were, shit dropping everywhere. As you saw, they were right, some plugs. As you saw, they were all rotted. So, right. So I resoldered these in here. Right. You all seem to be properly soldered in there. So let us trace it from the mains IEC plug to the pin here. Right, I should be on live, which is this pin here. Continuity. Right, we're not. We haven't got live. Let us check the neutral. Right, we have. I suspect this fuse holder. Right, so that's that one. Right, that's. Hear that? It's this damn fuse holder. Right, now that's working. Right, I have to keep an eye on that. Something wrong there. I used the blinking old one, you know, to try and sort of keep it in age sort of character, if you're with me. Right, let's make sure nothing's wrong in there. Right, so we should have power now. Plug it in, turn it on. Yes, and we have a little light. There we go. Do we have play? Yes, we do. Right, I'll put a tape on and we'll see if we get anything out. Right, it is working. However, yeah, it just needs a bit of a service, I think. And this tape isn't the best. It's got mould on it and there's all sorts of bits and recording levels on it. But it works. Which is amazing for saying it's, where are we? If this was built in 1953, 1955, let's say 1960, it's older than me. So, yeah. Well, I'm glad it works. Because it's horrible when you sell something and then find out it don't bloody work, and then you've got to run around like a maniac to try and figure out why. On something you haven't worked on for years. Interesting stuff. Well, anyway, bit of an interesting look at a Vortexion WVB reel-to-reel 1/4 inch tape recorder. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Ta-ra for now.